Today we have brought you an update about the consumer report tricking the Tesla Autopilot and Tesla getting FCC approval for the Wave sensor. So let's get started. Tesla analyst Pierre Ferragu of New Street Research is not impressed with Consumer Reports' test that apparently tricked a Model Y into driving itself without anyone in the passenger seat. Earlier this week, Consumer Reports claims that it made a Model Y drive itself by tricking it with a series of weights, contraptions, and loopholes that everyday drivers would never use. The experiment concluded that Tesla's self-driving systems could operate without a driver in the driver's seat, but many weren't impressed with the study's findings. Now, Ferragu is commenting on the CR experiment, and he destroyed the testing process along with the overall results of the test. Consumer Reports showed you can trick a Tesla to self-drive without a driver. This car is dangerous. Stop selling it. I just showed you can drive an F-150 with windows open, a machine gun in your hands, and shoot around random bullets. This car is dangerous. Stop selling it, Ferragu said in a satirical Twitter post. While CR was attempting to prove that Tesla's Autopilot and full self-driving systems could operate without anyone specifically monitoring the wheel, the experiment was unrealistic in terms of what everyday people would do. It seems that if someone wanted their car to drive itself, they could make it do it, but there would be a series of loopholes that the owner would have to jump through to make this happen. Ultimately, any car could be subjected to a test where it makes its operation look completely unfavorable. Anything on Earth can be outsmarted, but the people doing it must know that they're attempting to do something dangerous at their own risk. It is tough to see how Tesla could be blamed or held liable for owners tricking the FSD sensors, which monitor the driver's hands on the steering wheel, along with the weight in the seat. Tesla has never indicated that its cars can drive themselves, and Level 5 autonomy, which would make a car operate without any interventions from the driver, has been discussed by Elon Musk in the past. Musk said in late 2020 that he was extremely confident of achieving full autonomy and releasing it to the Tesla customer base next year. He has not commented on Tesla's potential capabilities since then. Ferragu, a notable Tesla bull, is one of the most realistic analysts on Wall Street when it comes to the car maker. While he is a Tesla owner, he is also a valuable critic of the company. He is candid with his synopsis of its outlook when adjusting price targets or releasing investor notes, and has dropped his price target when the automaker isn't performing at its best. With that being said, Ferragu has experienced Autopilot for himself in his own car, and in February, he talked about its impressive performance on a 70-mile highway drive. When it comes down to it, drivers ultimately hold the responsibility of using Autopilot and full self-driving systems. Even if the system was tricked by Consumer Reports, their testing process was questionable, and it is likely that very few people would be willing to let their cars operate through a loophole, especially when Tesla indicates that drivers hold the ultimate responsibility of paying attention to the road and its conditions while operating their all-electric motor vehicle. Moving to the next update, Tesla Safety Tech takes a giant step with FCC approval for Wave sensor. Tesla's request for the Federal Communications Commission to approve a millimeter wave sensor for child protection and anti-theft measures has been granted. Along with 5 other companies, Tesla received a grant of waivers on April 14, 2021, that would allow the installation of radar sensors in the 57 to 64 GHz frequency band in passenger motor vehicles. The system is now likely to contribute to the imminent release of a driver monitoring system, which would keep drivers attentive during the use of the company's full self-driving suite. The document also granted Veyer Imaging Limited, Valeo North America, Infineon Technologies America Corporation, IE Sensing Incorporated, and Bros North America to use millimeter wave sensors. Tesla and IE were approved for 60 to 64 GHz, while the other companies can utilize 57 to 64 GHz. In August 2020, Teslarati reported that Tesla had requested the FCC to approve a short-range motion sensor that would save kids from being left in hot cars. The sensor would also boost the company's theft prevention system as it would be active approximately 6 feet outside of the vehicle, to provide vehicle security benefits such as detecting a broken window or a vehicle intrusion. Tesla originally filed for a request for a waiver on July 31, 2020. After a few months of research and deliberation, the FCC is waiving requirements that would prohibit the approval of these systems. The government agency says that we find that grant of these waivers will bring immediate relief to the industry and the public in this area. Specifically, our action will bring forth substantial public benefits by improving vehicular safety for children and providing opportunities for additional vehicular automation and theft prevention applications without increasing the potential for harmful interference to authorized users in the band. New FCC documents obtained by Teslarati indicate that Tesla's device will use 4 transmit and 3 receive antennas driven by a highly configurable radar front-end unit, and in-vehicle radar modulation will consist of consecutive frames, including an acquisition sequence comprised by a repetition of frequency chirps or step chirps, a listening period, then a period for signal processing. However, there may be more uses for the sensor, which aligns with the company's current plans to monitor driver behavior and attentiveness during the use of autopilot or full self-driving. The device, along with the vehicle's interior cabin camera, will monitor facial features and vital signs to ensure that a driver is paying attention. Tesla recently revoked access to its FSD beta program to some owners as they did not remain sufficiently attentive while utilizing the FSD suite. In early April, Tesla hacker Green released footage of the driver monitoring system, showing how the interior cabin camera would constantly look at the driver's facial features. This would ensure that a driver using the FSD or Autopilot systems is still paying attention to the road. Because Tesla's FSD isn't operating with Level 5 autonomy, it still requires the driver to pay attention to the road and the vehicle's surroundings. Advocates for highway and auto safety believe that the inclusion of the sensor could be highly advantageous for autonomous vehicles. The ability of a vehicle to detect and classify all occupants will likely be critical as autonomous vehicles are deployed onto our roads in the future, because autonomous vehicles will need to know the number of occupants and whether they are properly restrained before beginning to move, safety advocates said. The device would also be able to detect intrusions of theft attempts, which could be coupled with the highly effective Tesla Sentry mode. Sentry mode records events that occur near the vehicle and has helped police crack several vandalism and robbery cases in the past. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says that 105 kids were killed in 2018 and 2019 because of being left in a hot car. The death occurred 54% of the time because someone forgot their child was in the car. The approval of the millimeter wave sensor could decrease that number significantly if it receives widespread approval after Tesla's usage. That's it for now. So what are your thoughts about this? Let us know in the comments. Stay tuned at the Electric Arena for all the latest Tesla and electric vehicle news.